All right, it's the week of Black Friday, and it is the weekend here. And if you are living a ketogenic or carnivore leaning lifestyle like my wife and I, not only can the right kitchen tools save you time, they can save you money, and honestly, they can keep you consistent. And for success on one of those lifestyles, consistency is key. Today, I'm breaking down the 4 most important and used kitchen tools that we have here in our kitchen that have become, quite honestly, the most important tools that have allowed us to remain consistent for the last 8 years. Let me go ahead and break down the 4 in order from least important to most important. All right, so if you're new to the channel, my name is Scott, and I have been living, and my wife has been living, a ketogenic lifestyle. I go in and out of keto to carnivore every once in a while, but we've been living a ketogenic lifestyle now since July of 2018. And these 4 items that I'm going to discuss with you today they're not only luxuries. For us, they're practical. See, I live a very busy lifestyle. I am a truck driver. I get up early in the morning, and from there I'm at work. I'm lifting heavy at work, and then I go to the gym after work. I'm lifting heavy at the gym, and I sometimes have 14 to 16-hour days. My wife, even though she works from home, she is running a large mortgage company here in the state of Washington from her home office. So even though our son has moved out of the house, neither one of us have a whole lot of time to plan really extravagant meals, except for maybe on the weekends. So these 4 items I'm going to be discussing with you today are not only practical, but they save us time and they allow us to remain consistent without spending hours in the kitchen. All right, so starting with number 4 here, what we have here is the Ninja Foodi. Now, my wife and I used to have an Instapot, and it worked great. And if we had a larger kitchen and we had a larger family still living here in the house with us, the Instapot would be great. But my wife and I, the reason we went with the Ninja Foodi, number 1, this thing is perfect for big, tough cuts of meat. We're talking roasts, chuck roasts, oxtails, anything that needs really low and slow, okay? Yeah, so basically you're talking about, it's a pressure cooker. You can see here, pressure cooker, it steams. It's got I don't have my glasses on, slow cook yogurt, which, to be honest with you, was really, for me, I wanted to start making some of my own yogurt, my own Greek yogurt. It's been great for that. You can sear in this thing. Air crisp, basically air fryer, broil, bake, roast, and dehydrate. I have not used the dehydrate feature yet. I'm looking forward to doing that. But here's the thing. For keto, for something that can cook things low and slow, for keto, it's really not only makes the fattier cuts delicious, but it makes things affordable. And in today's economy, affordability is going to be a major factor in how people get healthy. If you can afford to get those fattier cuts of meat, cook them slow in something like the Ninja Foodi here, like what we've done. And you'll see, by the way, that my wife and I, we are Ninja fans. We don't have everything that's Ninja, but the things that we do have are amazing. Now, this particular machine is about 4 years old now. I will put a link in the description down below on everything that we're talking about today on the newest version of this thing. Now, this one here is also the 6.5 quart. I do recommend the 6.5 quart because with this thing here, we've made sous vide egg bites in this thing. Like I said, we've made yogurt. One of the things I did with this is I made my own tallow. Doing your own tallow while you're slow cooking the beef fat in this thing has been a game changer. Number one, I could set it off the side. It's in the corner. It keeps my stovetop free for hours on end. So anyways, like I said, so basically quick on this, great for batch cooking. Set it, forget it on busy days. Helps keep the grocery costs down. And on Black Friday, Ninja products tend to be pretty steeply discounted. So keep an eye out for that. Let's move on to number 3. I almost did number 4. Let's move on to number 3. And number 3 is the most used item in our kitchen by me. Let's dive into it. All right. Number 3 on this list is this Ninja Auto IQ blender. Now, I've had this thing for over 10 years. Matter of fact, I got it when I purchased my first Ninja product for my wife, which was our old coffee station, which is still working today. That coffee station has been 11 years old. This is 11 years old. Now, how do I use this? And I do, like I said, I use it every day. So I get up at, say, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got to be to work at 4:30. I've already got my coffee station set up. I put this unit here in the coffee machine. It drips the coffee into it. I'll put some heavy whipping cream. I'll put some collagen powder in here. And I may even add a little bit of MCT oil, sort of like a poor man's bulletproof coffee, minus the butter. And I'll froth this right up, okay? After I'm done frothing it, I put it in my travel mug. Then I immediately rinse this thing out. And what I do then is that I will go ahead and make my protein shake. Usually I use a steak shake mix made by Mark. It's made by Mark Bell's company. I'll blend that with a little bit of Greek yogurt and some Fairlife protein, basically a Fairlife protein shake, basically giving me a huge protein boost first thing in the morning. I drink that before I leave, throw this thing right in the dishwasher, and I'm on my way to work, drinking my bulletproof coffee or my keto coffee. So, all right, that's this machine right here. I cannot recommend the Ninja blenders. This, like I said, this thing has lasted me 11 years. This actually is older than my foot massager, and if you saw that review, I'll put that link right here because that's old too. Okay, number 2 here is my Anova Sous Vide heating element and tank. Now I have 2 different tanks. This is the one that pretty much stays on our counter weekly. Now I have a larger tank up here in the cupboard that I use when I want to sous vide larger cuts of meat, or if I'm sous videing a lot for a lot of people for a dinner party. But this machine right here has really stepped up our ketogenic and carnivore game. Okay, and it's called the Anova Sous Vide Immersion Circulator, and we use this thing no less, and I kid you not, no less than 3 times a week. So what I'll do is I will go downstairs to my freezer and I will pull out, so today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. So tomorrow, my wife and I, we're going to go downstairs to our freezer. We're going to take inventory of what we have down there for the week that's already pre-frozen, or excuse me, pre-seasoned and pre-packaged. Okay? So we're going to go to Costco. We're going to bring the food back. We're going to take care of it, and then we're going to throw it in the freezer. So then Sunday afternoon, what we do is we go down there, my wife and I talk, okay, what do we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And for the week, we will pull out everything out of the freezer that we want to consume. 3 days a week, we're having steak or some sort of meat product where we are sous videing it. Now, why is this so important to our lifestyle? And I think it would be a great addition to your lifestyle too. It's because you can't screw this up, okay? And you're going to have a lot of steak purists out there that are going to say, well, you know what? I just would rather go ahead and grill the steak, or I'm going to go ahead and broil it in my oven and just do whatever I got to do there. Here's the beauty about sous vide. Again, what's my schedule? I'm up at 2:30, 3 o'clock every day. What I will do, the perfect medium rare steak is at 135 degrees. And here's the dirty little secret to sous vide. Every Michelin star steakhouse utilizes sous vide in some aspect with regards to cooking their meat. That is why it's almost always perfectly medium rare. And here's the thing. I will take out that defrosted steak that's already pre-seasoned and pre-packaged that I did out of my refrigerator at 2:30 in the morning. I will preheat this up, set it up for 135 degrees. I will put it in here at 3 o'clock in the morning. And when I come home, 14 to 16 hours later, that steak is done. It's not overcooked. I take it out of the package. I pat dry it. Okay. And I'll take it because to sear the meat, you need the steak perfectly dry. And by the way, if you're interested in sous vide, learning how to cook sous vide, the best YouTube channel out there is called Sous Vide Everything. I'll put a link of it, say right up here or so, or I'll try to put a link somewhere here on the screen. But Guga, he has 2 YouTube channels. One's called Guga Foods, one's called Sous Vide Everything. I learned everything about sous vide cooking from him, so much so that I went out and I also purchased a separate sous vide cookbook. Okay, we love this machine. A minimum of 3 days a week. It is a game changer, and you cannot go wrong with this thing. This Anova is 6 years old. And I will put a link again down in the description below to the newest version of this. But when this thing will eventually die, and they do because it's a heating element. Here's the thing. It's a heating element and it's also a water pump. So it's circulating the water and heating it up at the same time. Eventually it will die. When it does, I'm going to get another one of this brand. I love it. It even has Bluetooth capability so I can monitor on my phone when I'm here in the house. All right, now we're going to go on to the #1 tool that we have in our kitchen that has kept us absolutely 100% consistent with a ketogenic lifestyle. You know what it is? You saw it. In one of the clips. Here we go. Okay, it's not even close. This here is our #1 thing in our kitchen that has not only helped us stay consistent with the ketogenic lifestyle, it has saved us time, it has saved us money, and we are now on our 2nd Food Saver product. Now, we've always had a Food Saver product because my wife and I have always been budget conscious about our food. And we purchased our first Food Saver, I would say probably about 15 years ago. And that unit did really well for us. Unfortunately, it eventually died. And what we ended up doing was we ended up going to Costco. And this is the V4840, if I remember right. And this is pretty much their top of the line at the time. Now, I did look on Amazon, and they do have one that looks similar, and it has really good ratings on it. So this is how we use this particular Food Saver here. #1, we don't use it to marinate any of our meats. Okay, the #1 killer to a Food Saver has always been liquid getting into the air pump. So for us, keto can be expensive, but unless you buy meat when it's on sale, and that's what we do. That's what my wife and I do. So with the Food Saver, I could stock up on beef, pork, lamb, fish, whatever's on special, whatever requires long-term storage, whatever requires freezing, and store it for up to a year. Now I did find a steak that I had freezer bagged in my freezer that was 2 years old, and it was not freezer burn. I'm going to say a year because that's probably your best option. For that particular steak was a very small filet mignon. It was actually 2 small filet mignons in that one. Anyways, this thing has saved us probably hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the years that we've had it. Now, like I said, we've had this one for about 4 years now. And basically, because my diet is built around meat, this tool really has become, excuse me, excuse me, this tool really has become the backbone of our entire system here in the kitchen. Okay, it doesn't matter if we're talking the Ninja Foodi or the Sous Vide. All of our food that we purchase in bulk goes through this system right here. I mean, you really can't. I mean, so I'll give you an example. Those steaks I was talking about that I purchased, that I put it in the sous vide, when we process them here on the counter, I will take and I will go ahead and season the steaks. Salt, usually it's just salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I'll put them in a sous vide bag. I will seal it up and I will throw it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. That way it allows the seasoning to go ahead and get into the meat, right? The next day I take it out and I throw it in the freezer. On the bag, I've written down what cut of meat it is, how many cuts of meat are in there, what I've seasoned it with, and the date that I purchased it. That way, I know exactly when I get into my freezer, I can go ahead and look, okay, this is, I purchased this October 1st, so we purchased this. Oh, this is an August package that we put. Let's go ahead and pull that out this week. Okay, that's how we use the Food Saver. All right, if you have a favorite keto kitchen tool that has made your life easier, has allowed you to save money, has allowed you to go ahead and remain consistent, go ahead and mark it down in the comments down below, please. I'm always looking for other options that will allow me and my wife to not only save money, but save time here in our very narrow galley kitchen. Always looking for things like that. And if you found this helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you have somebody that is starting out on a ketogenic, low carb, or carnivore lifestyle, please go ahead and share this video with them, because what you're going to find is that starting out, it's extremely tough to remain consistent. And these 4 items here that I've shown you today have been a backbone, have been the mainstay in our kitchen now for at least 8 years. So remember, gentlemen, there is no downside to becoming physically strong, metabolically healthy, and spiritually fortified. And all 4 of these items that I've shown you today have helped me maintain a great metabolic health. Thank you very much. God bless, and we'll talk to you on the next video.